Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, author and voodoo priestess practitioner Sally Ann Glassman, here to talk about her annual Day of the Dead celebration. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. And Candace Kerner, chef de cuisine from Mondo Restaurant, to tell us about a very special upcoming meal. Welcome, Chef Candace. And actress, comedian, entrepreneur, and former Orleanian, always with New Orleans in her heart, Rhonda Shear, who will be talking about her brand new book and also her amazing enterprises too. Great to see you. Hello. And the odd man out, the guy, Steppin Out theater critic Alan Mason, who is also editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. Hello, Alan. And you and Rhonda go pretty far back.
A little bit, yeah.
Way back.
Yeah.
Very ghost in our closet.
That's right, exactly. And Poppy
skeletons.
returns next week. But first up, Chef Candace of Mondo. I know that it's been quite a week, and this discussion, of course, area-wide has been about women and treatment in local restaurants. Your take on that?
Yeah, there's definitely, there's been a lot of conversation about it. I just hope that being the position that I'm in at our restaurant, that we're just being progressive about the treatment and making sure that everyone has, a happy, safe environment to work in. And we just want to stress that everyone has a place in the kitchen. They should not be concerned about things that are, much of what's come to light this last week.
We hope for better times with all that, too.
Exactly.
But tell us about what you're working on the kitchen. We have a WYS Season of Good Taste special dinner coming up, which helps the station, and we can't resist.
Yeah, November 5th. We're really excited about it. We've got 5 courses at the restaurant, all pretty exciting. I think, what do we do?
You created the menu, huh?
I did, with some help from Chef Spicer.
We should give Susan Spicer just a little credit, right?
She should get some credit. But no, we have a couple appetizers. We're doing, a seafood custard using lots of Louisiana Gulf shrimp. And then we also have, we've got beautiful vegetables coming in because it's fall. So we're doing like a nice heirloom carrot and shaved Brussels sprout salad. Also have seared duck breast. We've got beef cheeks on the menu, beef cheeks and pierogies.
Pierogies. Nice.
I love the pierogies. So very fall-centric and a little kind of all over the place, eclectic.
Dessert?
Dessert is by far the best. I love my pastry chef. So we're doing a pear tatin with a nice rosemary shortbread crust and then Earl Grey ice cream. It's the perfect way to finish that meal. It's going to be...
Mondo is noted for many of its dishes, but I remember a few years back, New Orleans Magazine, on the cover, the hamburger. It's funny, you don't think necessarily of a hamburger, but apparently,
love that burger. There is a cult now that has, they come in for the burger cult. But no, it's so funny because we have the burger, but we just do it's international cuisine. Like, we have the access to do all kinds of different things. So we always have, a steak special, a fish of the day, and then we get to throw in things like I have a shrimp vindaloo. So we get to play just all over the place. But the burger is still great, and you should come in for the burger too. Just maybe try something else while you're there.
The Harrison Avenue dining scene, you all were certainly a part of that, especially after the storm, of just kicking it off. It's amazing how many nice places there are to eat on Lakeview.
You've got a lot of great places there. I mean, not only Mondo, but there's Cava, there's the Steak Knife, there's even the Harbor across the street, which they've got,
the Pearl, and just it goes on. Yeah, very exciting. What's your favorite dish?
On the menu currently, I think it is the shrimp vindaloo, but we also have, again, we're getting into that season, braised meat season. We have a short rib dish. It's short rib and adobo, and we do a nice mango and peanut salad on top of it. It's so rich, but it's That's one of my favorites.
And tell us about you. Where did you study, and how long have you been at
Goodness.
Susan?
I've been with Susan now for about 5 years.
That's a long time.
Yes. Before that, I spent a little time in Denton, Texas, just north of Dallas. I had a fantastic mentor there, Sheena Croft. A lot of great experiences. And then, you know, there was just New Orleans kept calling me. It's like, I need that food scene, I need that competition, and so here we are. It was competitive. Great.
Glad you're here.
Thank
Glad
you.
you're here. Sally Ann, as we have discussed before, the Healing Center, which you and your husband, Prez, of course, have been so much a part of on St. Claude and the revitalization of St. Claude. It's nice to know that you have special events throughout the year, but you're there every day.
Every day. It
But
seems
tell
like
us about
it.
the Day of the Dead celebration coming up.
So the Day of the Dead in Mexico and Central and South America is the day when the veil between the living and the dead is thinnest and most diffuse. And so it's the days, it's actually 3 days, October 31st, our Halloween, November 1st, November 2nd. On the 31st, the spirits of the dead children come back. On the 1st, it's the night when the beloved dead return, and the 2nd is when people who have no family and no friends amongst the living come back. And there are beautiful, ornate displays that are made on the graves themselves with candles, thousands of candles and thousands of
In
marigolds.
Mexico, but primarily? Or?
Mostly in Mexico, but it's spreading for sure. It's such a beautiful occasion, and it corresponds in Haiti with Fête Gede. The Gede are the spirits who are sort of the heads of the family of the dead, and they're also in charge of revitalization and renewal, and they happen to be very significant to New Orleans.
Absolutely. And you're doing your own. Okay.
So I've been doing this event for 37 years now with my community, La Source Ancienne and Faux, and it's finally outgrown my temple. There's so many people that come and participate that we thought that having it in the lobby of the Healing Center would make sense this
And
year.
when we say your temple, we're talking about Rosalie Alley and
Rosalie
Bywater.
Alley,
Yes.
People now call it Voodoo Alley.
Voodoo Alley.
But so
Okay.
for the first time, we're moving it to the Healing Center, and it starts at
And this is
5
Wednesday?
o'clock on Wednesday. I'm sorry, 5:30. There'll be a happy hour with the Spotted Cat restaurant, and they're going to have Mexican food and margaritas, and we'll have a whole market like they have in Mexico. And then we'll have a full-on ceremony starting at 7 with initiated drummers and dancers and singers, and we hope that the spirits of the dead will come and visit us.
What's intriguing, it is more celebratory than one
Yeah.
would think. You
Yeah.
know, you think of this as being a sad time, but it's meant to celebrate.
Well, the idea is that when somebody dies, they're not gone. We can still visit with them, and it's actually very reassuring. This whole event is lovely,
so,
and
yeah.
it gives you the sense that there's more to life than just what you do in this one lifetime, and that our lives have much greater meaning than we may realize. And you always want to honor your ancestors and the people that have influenced you, and thank them for all they've done for you, and they love us, and just by remembering them and coming and giving offerings, we keep them alive in this world.
You know, funny you should say that, because I remember seeing an interview on Charlie Rose's show with Mandy Patinkin, who's very spiritual, he's a wonderful actor, and talks about just murmuring the names of your departed ones and how much that means too.
And we end up, we have a whole potluck supper, we do the whole ceremony, and then we do a procession to feed the dead and to say the praise names of our beloved dead, and we do prayers from all different traditions for honoring the dead.
And also, though, we should remind everybody that the Healing Center, there are many wonderful institutions inside of that.
Yeah,
Tell us what's there right these days. I mean, you know, your place, your store.
Over 25 different
A grocery
individual
and-
businesses. There's the Spotted Cat restaurant. There's the Cafe Istanbul Istanbul Performance Hall and Theater. There's the New Orleans Food Co-op. There's Wild Lotus Yoga. There's the Affordable Healing Arts. There's a street university where anybody can teach anything. There's Magnolia Physical Therapy. There's a gym. There's just a lot going on. There's art galleries. There's always something, and there's all kinds of special events.
Bravo to you and Prez on that. And it's right across, of course, from the St. Roch Market.
Yep.
It's funny because you all were there first, but now we can say, oh, and it's right across from the St. Roch Market in terms of these two landmarks. But congratulations.
Thank
Wishing
you very
well.
much.
Yes.
Thanks.
And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Edna Chambert gave us the names of 2 local oyster dishes that were created at which restaurants? Oysters Rockefeller, of course, at Antoine's, and char-grilled oysters at Drago's. And you could go on, there are others too, but those are the least 2. Now tonight's question, in honor of the late, great Fats Domino, who we'll so miss, 3 of his songs had the same color in the title. That Julia, she's been up all night. Email your answers to Steppin Out at WYES.org. Our prizes: a copy of the book Fantastic Saints by Ryan Calamia, which focuses on saints, superfans, some amazing photos. A dish towel with the message, a bisque is a bisque is a bisque, from our friends at wearablevegetables.com. And a pair of free admission passes to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or tickets for the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. And you can go to WYES.org for our online calendar of events, including the annual gala that's tomorrow at St. Joseph Abbey in Covington, and the High Ground Drifters Bluegrass Group. They're wonderful. They'll be performing at City Park, the Pavilion of the Two Sisters, on Thursday evening. You can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to view our program. And now, Miss Rhonda, so much to talk about.
Such
so
interesting.
little time.
Everybody's so interesting.
Former queen of Endymion, by the way. I know this is out of season, but no, congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
I love the way that you've combined a sense of humor, being a comedian, being a beauty queen, I mean, and so many more things in between. A politician, that's right, a politician, a New Orleans girl, but also your own multi-million-dollar company. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Home Shopping Network, at least 10 hours a month?
Yes,
at
least 10 hours a month, almost 16 years. It's a lot of live hours. Eclectic life, eclectic dishes.
The creator of the Abra.
Our Abra, the #1 selling bra in the world. 35 million sold in 34 countries, and we've won Ernst & Young for that, the fastest growing female-owned business. So exciting times. I never knew. You never know where life will take you.
And when we say we're talking about especially for ladies of a certain size, and we're not talking about very big, but of somebody who wants to be comfortable.
Actually,
this
we go from
bra,
extra small to 3X, so it's for petite with larger bust, and I've done many variations off the Abra. It's a knitted bra. I should have brought one. So I'm enjoying this.
We should have been
It's a knitted bra, and so it's really comfortable.
Rhonda, where are you spending your days these days? Where are you
we live
living?
in St. Petersburg, Florida, and I reunited with my junior high school sweetheart from Gregory Junior High, Van Fagan, and we've been married now. It'll be 17 years in January.
Oh, congratulations, and let's talk about your book.
I'm so excited because there's a lot of New Orleans. Skeletons. Halloween time, there's skeletons.
Great photos, too.
There's some really fun photos.
Tease you.
And when I first wrote it, I wanted, actually it was the second version. The first was completely autobiographical. And then my agent said, you got to go in and add more, a little bit more of like, why and the inspiration behind everything. So that was really fun to do. I went back and gave life lessons of everything that I learned along the way. So anybody who's looking for to be an entrepreneur or maybe to find love at 45, for the first time I married Van, was my first husband and only husband, unlike him. Anyway, but and becoming an entrepreneur or changing careers in the middle of your life, midlife, changing careers from stand-up comic, actress to literally a designer, you can do it. So it has a lot of...
It's very empowering.
It's very empowering, and so it's exciting for me. It really is exciting, and I've been embraced so much in New Orleans this last weekend promoting the book.
Well, it's very fun, of course, to read about the New Orleans passages, but no, a lot of good, very useful information that anybody can use, and
Absolutely.
I love the idea of you don't sell, connect. I mean,
Absolutely.
for anybody who's trying to sell anything.
I
how
think you
important
really
that
have to be
is.
real. I mean, I think especially when you're selling undergarments, I mean, it's the most
Yes,
intimate
you
thing
do.
that touches
Yes,
your
you do.
body. So know your product, and I did it for myself. So of course, it's you have to be real. You have to talk the real talk, no matter what you're selling.
And you've got a book signing tomorrow.
I do it at Barnes & Noble on Veterans Highway in Metairie. I'm very, very excited about that from 12 to 2 p.m. So please, everybody, come on out. And let's have some fun. Let's talk old New Orleans.
Now, when you travel around, do you do appearances and talk about your company and building the
Doing
company?
a lot of speaking in front of women's organizations, in front of business organizations. I spoke at Loyola in front of the School of Mass Communication, which is where I graduated from many years ago. So yes, I'm really enjoying that part because I never realized at some point in my life I'd be considered an entrepreneur. I always thought I would be an actress, but great teamship, partnership with my husband, and I've really enjoyed this journey.
Now, some New Orleans memories. What was your neighborhood when you grew up?
Born uptown, but grew up in the lakefront. On the Lake Shore and East and West Lake Shore. So
High
when
school?
Kennedy, and then my last year Mount Carmel. Very eclectic.
You were a cub.
And then a Jews.
Yes,
Yes, I was a gator, a cougar. And yeah, I was everything, and I'm still that, I guess. But I love New Orleans. It's totally part of who I am. I always kid about that I'm a gumbo, and I'm a good cook. I'm not a chef, but I love cooking for my friends in Florida because they eat up literally New Orleans food, and no one can cook like a New Orleanian.
Well, congratulations on all your
so much.
success.
Thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. And now it's time for our Artist Spotlight. Tonight we want to recognize the Poitras Home Bicentennial Gala's juried art winners. Some beautiful things. First place went to artist Chris Wenschu for her artwork, A Lightness of Being. Wenschu grew up in East Germany and uses elements of realism for her oil paintings. Honorable mentions went to Glenda Schaefer's Cocodrie Roost, that's beautiful, and photographer Mark Sindler, we know Mark, Home Altar, a Vietnamese community of Versailles, New Orleans East. He has chronicled the Vietnamese community for almost 30 years, maybe over that. Congrats to all of our winners, the winners. The judges, by the way, were appraiser and art experts Ruthie, Winston, and John Abajan. And now, Alan Smeason.
Well, I'm going to start off a little bit with somebody who Rhonda actually knew and was influential in her career, and that's Bob Hope.
Yes.
There is a wonderful show on at the BB Stage Door Canteen of the National World War II Museum that's going on right now called On the Road, Bob Hope and Friends. And it really recounts Bob Hope's, basically took off from their last show that they did, which was all on World War II. Takes off basically for Korea and all of those shows for the USO that Bob Hope did in Vietnam. He did something like 57 different tours. It's amazing, and he never seemed to stop. And of course, he was influential. What he had, the Superstars program, is that what it was?
Star Makers.
Star Makers. Star Makers.
And that was my beginning. He cast me in that as one of six women, and it was fabulous.
Yeah.
And actually, he'd invited me to do some local USO shows in Los Angeles. We never got around to it, but he was, he stayed in touch with me and really was very, very kind and just he pushed in a very gentle way. He originally owned the Miss International pageant. I don't think anybody knew that.
No.
Miss International USA. So I loved Bob Hope.
Well, I have to say, there's a bevy of beauties. Bill Johnson is the guy who portrays Bob Hope. And let me tell you, it is very difficult to impersonate Bob Hope. He had a nasal way, a quality to his voice, and very fast patter. And you really have to be able to know how to do that properly. And he nails it. I mean, you can almost close your eyes and see Bob Hope in front of you when you open up. It's amazing. He did a show beforehand. He's doing this continuation now, but he's got a bevy of beauties, as I mentioned, 6 young ladies, and again, some of the most talented ladies on the stage now. Christian Tarzetti, you've got Margie Cates, who just won the BB's Stage Door Canteen Idol. You've got Emily Guyan in there right now, soon to be Christine Tonry. They've got a number of other people, including Jarrell Hamilton, who was so wonderful in Ain't Misbehavin' and in Once on This Island. All of these ladies all do a great, fantastic job of carrying off the images, if you will, or trying to portray Lola Falana, Anne Margaret, all of these wonderful people who were on stage with him. And again, I will tell you that it's great to go to see the show, but also you can go there, you can have the dinner or the brunch if you want on Sundays, and it's a great, great opportunity. Again, shout out to Victoria Reed, who is, by the way, the Bob and Dolores Dolores Hope, entertainment director there, because they have actually, that foundation has actually donated $3 million to the National World War II Museum to help keep perpetuating the Bob Hope story. And again, they're doing a great job. Some of the people that you see on stage, Marilyn Maxwell. I mean, she was a blonde bombshell, but nobody hears about her anymore. And again, you know, she was played by Kate Galata. Again, I don't want to leave anybody out. Again, if you get a chance to go, it's going to be on for the next several weeks until the 26th, so right after Thanksgiving. I like to call this Bill Johnson is the turkey, and the trimmings are all the beautiful ladies who are there.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
I'm sure. So also on the boards now, something that we have to go for now for something completely different. Shakespeare's bloodiest play, Titus Andronicus. Now, those of you who know this, there's a lot of let's say bloody passages where hands are lopped off, and you have people who are their throats are slit and all kinds of wonderful things. Well, CM On Stage Productions is noted for their Splatter Zone, if you remember that. This is the company that does Evil Dead the musical and Terminator the musical, and so they do it up right. But now the blood is a little bit different than the usual K-Rose syrup kind of blood because they couldn't clean up enough fast enough for the. But this is really a wonderful show. Ron Gural plays Titus Andronicus, and some of the other cast members, Trina Beck plays Tamora. Monica Harris, cross-gender casting there, plays the Moor, Aaron, and also Mary Pauley plays another male. She plays Marcus, the brother of Titus Andronicus. Kyle Woods, Callie Russell plays a fantastic role in Lavinia, who's Titus's daughter. I mean, just a wonderful show. This is the best Titus Andronicus I've seen in some time, and I have to say, it's done as tastefully as CM On Stage can ever do. You know? So I was afraid I'd be in the Splatter Zone last night because I was on the front row, but I was not. I will tell you that was fun. Also, on the boards now, Jimmy Buffett is going to be not on stage, but his songs will be heard. Coming up, Escape to Margaritaville. This is a photo we had of Jimmy with the creative cast, the people who were responsible, the people writing the book and the other aspects of the show. Again, the person who just got Director of the Year for the Tony Award, Christopher Ashley, he's actually involved with this as well. So again, that should be a great show, and I want to remind everybody that it is going to be ending, but I will be able to see it, and hopefully I'll be able to tell people about that later on.
But it's on its way to Broadway, so that's...
It is actually going to go to Chicago first, then to Houston, and then it'll be at the Marriott Hotel in the Marquee Theater starting in February.
Wow, so it already has a date and everything.
And I wanted to also mention something else, a little bit more of the long hair music, as it were. The LPO is doing a chamber concert series, and this is going to be at Temple Sinai. It's always great to see them perform in a spiritual space. This is going to be called Un Petit Souvenir, and I believe that they have some French classical chamber music that's going to be there, and in that beautiful setting, and in Temple Sinai's fantastic sanctuary with the big tall ceilings. It should be just fantastic. So I'm hoping people will go check that out as well.
What a busy night. A busy weekend in New Orleans.
I haven't stopped, and I don't think I'm going to.
I don't think you have. Okay, well, time for our picks of the week. Sally Ann.
So I'm picking Cree McGree's Halloween Costume Boutique. That's at the New Orleans Healing Center Saturday from 11 a.m. till 5, and some of the city's greatest costumers and designers and hatters, if that's a word. And so for anybody who hasn't got their costume together yet, you're in luck. You can fill it out there. And for anybody who does, you can find out all the things you were missing that you've got to have.
Thank you. Chef.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to do a little Mondo plug because we should all be planning now that Halloween is here. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So we're going to be doing everything but the turkey. So it's our family to yours. I even have Chef Spicer putting together her favorite family recipes so that you'll be able to, take it easy and just come by Mondo and pick up your sides for wherever it is you're having Thanksgiving.
Sounds great. Rhonda.
I just found out about the picks of the week, so of course it has to be. You have to self-promote. It's branding. Please come to Barnes & Noble for the book signing and go on Amazon and pick up Up All Night by Rhonda Shear and HSN for any Rhonda Shear products or rhondashear.com.
Woo! RhondaShear.com.
Branding.
Absolutely, Alan.
And for those of you who have the Imperial March as your dial tone, right, Mother? together. Star Wars and Beyond, the music of John Williams. Check out, this is going to be on Friday at 7:30 and also on Sunday at 6 o'clock, a repeat performance. You'll hear all the beautiful music of John Williams from Superman on to Star Wars and Beyond. So
what a treat.
Yes.
What a treat. And my picks, there will be a memorial event that's tomorrow from 1:30 to 6 p.m. in honor of the late, great, local award-winning filmmaker Royce Osborne. What a sweetheart. There will be presentations, a second line, and a 2:30 p.m. screening of his documentary, all on a Mardi Gras day, which WYES has been proud to air, and it's aired nationally on PBS. This is at the George and Joyce Ween Jazz and Heritage Center on North Rampart Street. Later in the day nearby will be the 6 to 9 Social Aid and Pleasure Club annual Pumpkin Parade, and they'll be doing a tribute to Royce before the parade. The parade's from 6 to 9. What a surprise. And it'll start at the 6 to 9 Clubhouse on Henriette DeLille Street, right near St. Augustine Church, all in the Tremay area. Check out the 6 to 9, the 69, okay, Facebook page. But Royce was a very talented filmmaker and so embraced the New Orleans Black Carnival, including reviving the tradition of the skeletons and the baby dolls, being involved with that, and he will be very sorely missed. And the 1850 House Museum on Jackson Square will be holding their ghostly Gallivan living history tours and silent auctions tomorrow and Sunday. General admission is $25, and the tours depart every 30 minutes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the Big Teasy, as in Tea and Coffee Festival, will be kicking off this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center on Airline Drive. Featured artists include the new Leviathan Oriental Foxtrot Orchestra. Admission is a mere $10. Looking ahead, don't miss the Symphony Chorus of New Orleans' special performance of Street Requiem, which seeks to impact homelessness through the arts. And the concert will be held on next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Academy of Sacred Heart's NIMS Fine Arts Center on St. Charles Avenue. Visit symphonychorus.org for more information. And go on a tour through some of St. Tammany Parish's beautiful churches on Saturday, November 4th. We're looking ahead now, during the Stained Glass Art and Sacred Places tour. And the one you just saw was from Our Lady, and just very beautiful. And actually, they're going to start at 9 a.m. at Lakeside Shopping Center. It's from 9 to 4, and it'll depart from the 17th Street side of Lakeside Shopping Center right there in Metairie. And you can go to prcno.org for many more details. And I have a little bit of show and tell. Thanks to Maria K. Chetta and the talent of Joan Mathis, we have these wonderful, sugar cookies. Very scary sugar cookies. I love this. Look at the candy corn. And aren't they sweet? Everybody gets to have one. And Maria K. also made, this is so true, anybody can do this. Okay, this is a how-to with a little Tootsie Roll, the Tootsie Roll Pops goes. So
Cute.
there you go. And a Kleenex, and you can, of course, draw the face on. Thank you all so much. So great to have you all on.
This is an
And
awesome
welcome back to New Orleans, and good luck with everything, everybody. And happy Halloween. Thanks for watching. Good night. So we will pass.